Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared, and today we have a new BESTECH fixed blade. This is the BESTECH HIEDI. Now, it does come in a non-dual ground version, if that's a little bit more your style. Now, S35 VN blade steel. Beautiful satin finish on this dual ground. I'm going to call it a drop point, dual ground drop point. The reason why I'm not calling it a clip point is because this drop is very subtle. And even though it is straight, it's very subtle and it doesn't really look like the tip is clipped off like a clip point would be. It does look more like a drop point. Nice big belly on it. You're going to have a little bit more stability out here at the front end for light duty chopping. And then you have a nice slicey area right here for feather sticking or for whatever you want to be slicey with, you know, because you could use this as an EDC fixed blade. Now, the sheath works good. Nice retention, nice push-off point. The scales are micarta. Good quality micarta. Lots of gripping right there. The geometry of it's really nice. Looks good. Now, it is a full tang. And S35 VN, great steel. It's a tough steel, good stainless, easy to sharpen, and it doesn't require diamonds to sharpen. You can sharpen it out in the field with just about any type of stone. I prefer to use diamonds on it, but it's not necessary. You can use aluminum oxide, natural stones, whatever you want with S35 VN, and it takes a good edge. I personally think it takes the best is a medium grip finish on S35 VN. Now, there is a PVD coated version, and then there's also a carbon fiber version. So there's a couple different options here with this one. Now, I want to, and like I said, there's the non-dual ground options too. I think those ones are available right now, but I'm not positive. Don't quote me. Anything I have will be linked down in the description. If not, then I will be giving you guys updates. Now, a couple complaints. So one complaint I have is this handle. It goes from thicker to thinner. I never like when handles do that, especially when it gets this slim. It just feels awkward. I feel like I'm going to slip off of it. And then the most important thing, and this is the reason why I'm going to explain this in great detail so people understand why this, in my opinion, is not that good. So one, when you hold a knife, right, what happens when you start cutting? The knife goes like this, right? Like if I didn't have my fingers across it, what would it do? I'd go to push it into something and it would just flip this way, right? What stops it from doing that? My pinky and my ring finger. And then from there, it pushes into my palm. So as long as my pinky and my ring finger are holding it, it's just going to push into my palm. I could cut like that. Now these three fingers basically prevent it from going like this. So in order for me to cut efficiently, I use my pinky and my ring finger to stop it from flipping, and then these three fingers to stop it from twisting. And you cut. Well, when you have room right here, because it's thicker here, and you go like this, there's a little bit of a pocket in there. And what happens is when you go to start pushing, it will kick, and you can feel this moving around back here as it's almost too skinny to prevent, you know. This isn't pencil thin, so I don't want to make it seem like, you know, I can't do it, because I can. But for my size hands, it's a little bit too slim right here, considering this is bigger. So that's the reason why I think it's important to make it either slimmer to thicker or the same across. I don't think you should go from thicker to slimmer. Go from slimmer to thicker. That works better. Slimmer to thicker always works better. Especially on a fixed blade, because on a fixed blade, you're planning on pushing through maybe possibly feather sticking, things like that, where pressure is going to be a huge factor. Now, I know this is more of an EDC fixed blade, and it totally could be used for that, but I think some people are going to be using it as a bushcraft. Next thing is the sharpening tool and plunge grind. I can feel the plunge grind hits the edge, so you can see it tapers down from here straight to the edge. I don't like that. I'd rather it be backed up and make it to where you have life to sharpen off. Now, it's not that big of a deal because it's a fixed blade. I can easily cut in my own a whole choil if I want to. I could cut in just a sharpening choil, so there's plenty of room, and since it's a fixed blade, nothing's stopping you from modifying it or fixing it if you do get a smile and you don't like it. And since it's a fixed blade, it's really not that big of a deal if you do get a little bit of a smile, but I'm just calling it out because, you know, it's a sharpening tool and plunge grind, and I usually worry about those things because when you go to sharpen, if it's thicker right here, here, which it is, sometimes it can lift you off the stone a little bit, and then it'll be difficult to sharpen this little area right here. So the knife will start hitting from here forward, but not right here because this little area is lifting it off the stone. A lot of people don't realize these little tiny details until you start sharpening and testing knives and stuff. You start realizing all these little details that are important. But anyways, it's still a cool little fixed blade, and like I said, you know, you can modify this easily, but cool little fixed blade. I think it's going to be relatively priced well. I see a price between 102 and 132, so I'm guessing that's going to be the range where it's at, depending on which model and which one you get. But anyways, there you guys go. Just a quick look at it. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.